Hello, I'm herbalist Leo Sade. I help people who struggle with chronic conditions grow their health from the roots up. Today I'm speaking about over-the-counter medication and about supplements that are actually a multi-billion dollar industry that, as I see it, really exploit the pain, the weakness, and the ignorance of many people. I want to help you make informed decision when it comes to over-the-counter medication. Really understand the pro and cons of each one of them. Specifically in this video, I'm going to talk about antihistamine, how they work in your body, what are the side effects, when you want to consider using them, and when you want to avoid them. So, what are antihistamines? Antihistamines are over-the-counter medication that are used to reduce inflammatory symptoms that are associated with allergies. So usually people use them in the seasons where we have the most allergies. Spring, early summer, and fall are really times, but some people need them year-round. So what is histamine? Histamine is a signaling molecule found all over the body. It is especially concentrated in the lung and in mast cells. In the brain, histamine functions as a neurotransmitter. In the blood, it is a hormone, and in mast cell, it is a signaling molecule. How does it work? So histamine is more than just an allergy molecule. It is crucial neurotransmitter and signaling molecule with diverse physiological roles throughout the body. What does it mean? There are four types of histamine receptors on cells. The type of receptors histamine binds to determine the effect that you get from that histamine. As a neurotransmitter, histamine promote wakefulness and alertness. This is why antihistamines like Benadryl make you drowsy, make you sleepy. It also plays important role in cognitive function and memory consolidation. As we will see, it is very important that histamine is involved in memory and cognitive function. In the digestive tract, histamine might suppress appetite, increase acid production, and change gut motility patterns. How many times you poop every day? Do you have constipation? Do you have diarrhea? Histamine influences that. For some people, histamine increases the frequency of bowel movements. For others, it causes constipation, bloating, and gas. In the cardiovascular system, histamine affects blood pressure by working as either vasodilator or vasoconstrictor. All depends on the context, depending on the location of the receptor types and the type of receptor the histamine bind to. It also influences heart rate. It can cause heart palpitation, and as a sidekick, when you have high heart palpitation, you sometimes get anxiety. Histamine also regulates reproductive behavior, arousal, and the menaces in women. As you can see, histamine is a powerful molecule that is responsible for far more than just the allergic reaction that we blame it for. So what could really go wrong with histamine? Histamine is very beneficial signaling molecule until you have excess histamine in your body, until you have this histamine dominance body. Excess histamine can happen in two ways. Either your immune system is overactive and it's releasing too much histamine to avert invasion, even though the invaders are not harmful. This is allergy. For most people, pollen doesn't promote allergic reaction. In people with overactive immune system, the body will release histamine when they are exposed to pollen. So that is one case of having too much histamine in the system. The other case is when your body don't produce enough DAO. DAO is the enzyme in the gut, in the small intestines, that break down histamine so the liver can eliminate it. Not enough DAO, you don't break enough histamine, you start to accumulate histamine in your system. So what really can happen when you have a high histamine? Histamine receptors, like I said, are spread all over the body. When you have the right amount of histamine, it has a profound effect on your well-being. You get this alertness, this ability to focus. It's regulate your heart rate and blood pressure. It's regulate your digestive tract, your appetite, your weight. It's just over the top beneficial molecule. However, too much histamine and all those system, all those benefit from that benefit from histamine go out of whack. How will that look? It will look like anxiety, over alertness, and insomnia in the nervous system. So you wouldn't be able to go to sleep. You will be very nervous, very edgy, very irritable. In the digestive system, high histamine levels cause GERD, so you have acid reflux, you have bloating, you feel nauseated, and you feel crampy. In the heart, it will cause heart palpitation, high blood pressure, and unstable blood pressure. In the respiratory system, we all know those allergic reactions. So you will have a lot of mucus in the lungs, in the sinuses, cough, congestion, teary red eye, fatigue. It's like everything is flooded with fluids. When that's happened, you want antihistamines to rescue you. What antihistamine do is block the histamine cell receptors. So histamine can't activate those receptors and you don't get the histamine reaction. There are four kinds of histamine receptors, but antihistamines work mostly with two of them, H1 and H2. H1 antihistamine block the receptors that prompt all the common allergic reactions like hives, runny nose, congestion, and irritability. Everything that you know with seasonal allergy, with food allergy, H1 receptor blockers. There are two types of H1 receptors. One is the first generation, like Benadryl, and the first generation can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. So when you take them, they can cross into the brain and then they reduce alertness. You feel drowsy and sleepy. That's Benadryl. The second generation of H1 antihistamines, medicine like Zyrtec, Claritin, Allegra, they can cross the blood-brain barrier. So you don't get this sedating effect of the antihistamines. H2 antihistamines are very different. They primarily reduce acid in the stomach. So, and I will have a full video on PPIs and medicine that reduce stomach acid, pro and cons. So, the misuse of H1 antihistamine. High histamine in the system is a symptom. It's not a condition. Antihistamine should be used temporarily for symptom relief while you are addressing the root cause of the condition. Why is your immune system releasing histamine? Why is it so reactive? Or why do you have DAO deficiency? What's going on? What types of nutrients are you missing? What type of activity you are not doing? What are you doing in excess? What are the kind of toxins that you expose yourself to? Now, this is the rules. You want to use antihistamines only for a short period of time while you find the root cause and actually take care of the root cause. But like with any rule, there is an exception to the rule. People with a history of anaphylactic reaction, people with MCAS, or people with severe asthma rely on antihistamine to prevent life-threatening responses. For them, antihistamines are lifesavers, and I wouldn't recommend they stop using it. So people with MCAS, for example, might need a daily use of Claritin for the rest of their life. It is what it is. But most people don't need to use antihistamine on a regular basis. Chronic use of antihistamines come with a serious side effects. That's why I don't recommend using them unless you really, really need to use them. The body reacts to continuous use of antihistamine by increasing the number of histamine receptors and increasing the amount of histamine that he releases from mast cell. So you have more histamine in the system now, and you have more receptors. The overall effect is that over time, antihistamines stop working, and the allergic symptoms can be much worse than the baseline symptoms. So you really want to find out why do you have those symptoms. Since histamine manage appetite and satiation, if it is out of the equation, you lose your appetite satiation signaling and your metabolic rate is reduced, leading to weight gain. So again, antihistamine use, chronic use, increase your risk of gaining weight and developing metabolic syndrome. Blocking histamine receptor might make you sleepy. I know at least one of my clients who used Benadryl for sleep because she had a severe insomnia and she really wanted to solve it. She used Benadryl for sleep. However, sleep quality is poor when you use Benadryl to induce sleep, and you get a daytime gorginess that is real. Over time, your sleep patterns can get out of whack. So instead of encouraging your body innate ability to sleep, you take an aid that replace your body and you don't get quality sleep and the body loses its ability to develop good restorative sleep. Fixing sleep patterns is challenging. So don't do it. Don't rely on antihistamine for sleep because you cause harm and then fixing the harm is a lot of work. Antihistamines are very successful in eliminating the excess tears, mucus, and congestion. However, drying effect can lead to dry mouth, dry mucus in the nose, in the lungs, in the guts, and constipation. Now, if you understand how important mucus is for the immune system, for the gut, it's like the superpower of the immune system. You understand that you don't really want constantly to dry your body. Last but not least, chronic use of age 1 antihistamine is associated with brain fog and memory loss. Studies actually found a connection between long-term use of antihistamine and dementia. So you really don't want antihistamine that can cross the blood-brain barrier, affecting your brain, because long use of those antihistamine can be related to dementia. If you feel trapped in this cycle where you need antihistamines for symptom relief, but chronic use create new symptoms while masking the underlying histamine dysregulation, then you are masking the symptoms, you are masking the root cause, but you are not taking care of the root cause. Whether it is DEO deficiency, mast cell activation, or food allergies, they remain unaddressed. You really don't care for the root cause. Antihistamines should be the bridge. They should help you bridge the problem while you find the root cause. They shouldn't be the destination. They shouldn't be the solution or the long-term solution for your allergies. I hope you find this beneficial. I'm very grateful for you for taking the time and listening to me blubbering here about antihistamines, but I really hope it helped. It helped you made better informed decisions. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or tell me anything you want to tell me. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.